I just resigned from my dream job after experiencing disability discrimination. Let's talk about it. This is part 5. Where I left you off, I had just found out that newbie didn't know what to do with me because I was blind. She didn't know how to teach with me. And she wasn't listening to what OG was telling her about how we made it work. And I had been talking with 2 out of my 3 admin about the fact that I had a lot of preps that I did not feel trusted because somebody was constantly with me, and that I was not getting planned with by a newbie. I was not included in her planning. So this is the point where I started to have anxiety attacks at work. Because I could not escape newbie. I was with her for 3 out of the 4 classes that I actually taught. I couldn't escape her. And I remember very clearly, it was a Thursday. It was a Friday. The day that it dawned on me that she did not think I was capable as a teacher, and she felt comfortable saying that. She was friendly to my face, but on the inside, she was already prejudiced against me. And so that was really hard on me. It was hard for me to be in her classroom. It was hard for me, just to sit there and know, like, she doesn't want you here. So I started to have anxiety attacks at work. This was not normal for me. I am a highly anxious person. I have anxiety all the time. And at my other job, I was still anxious. I would cry a lot, but I would never have a full-on panic attack and not remember what happened. And that was starting to happen to me. I think I had 3 or 4 pretty big anxiety attacks. Thankfully, none with kids around at that job. One of them, though, I think it was probably the first one that I remember. I had gone into behavior teacher's classroom. She was one of my friends, and I had gone in there because I was using one of my preps to help her with paperwork because she was a brand new teacher. And I just remember walking out of there after having an anxiety attack, to the point that she said I should go home. So that started happening to me, and that certainly wasn't helped by the person who started coming into my classroom, which would be one of the flex subs on campus. Yay! So this flex sub, was supposed to be in there as, the sighted adult that I guess was supposed to be in there, and she wanted to run the show. So she wanted to take kids' phones away. She was looking through my desk for paper passes to let one of my frequent flyer kids go to the bathroom, which we don't do paper passes at that school. So I really don't know, what it was she thought she was looking for. But she was there. Sorry, something's in my eye. She was trying to run the show. The first day I thought, this is a new classroom, whatever. The kids were being a riot because they didn't like her. And then the second day, I'm like, okay, this is a pattern. So I pulled her aside after the kids left, and I said, listen, I'm the teacher of record right now. I would really like to know if you're going to do something, I would like you to tell me before you do it to get my stamp of approval, because I am the last chain of command. I tried very hard to be really professional with her, but it was obvious that I was upset. And she agreed. She seemed to take it really well. She said, I know that you're the teacher, you're the chain of command. I accept that and I respect that. And then she never came back. She disappeared. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it later. Also put a pin in the fact that I had to go to a district training because I was clocked as a super duper young teacher just based on when I was able to get my certificate because of the accommodations I needed for my teaching test. That's a whole separate video. But, I had gone to one of the district trainings, and I had a sub. She was a sweet old lady who was apparently on her phone the whole time. The kids ran wild and took complete advantage of her. Put a pin in that. Got your pins in those 2 spots, because we'll come back. So, around this time, my service dog also retires, which is part of the reason that I am not doing super well. She retires, and the reason that that's important to this story is because that's my life partner that just retired. I do go back to work the day after she retires because I just felt like it was the right thing to do. Even though I was super checked out and not entirely there, I went back to work. And B, when I was hired, I found out that the school psychologist was apparently very allergic to dogs. And so the campus was kind of freaking out. Like, we don't know what to do. We have an employee with a service dog. We have an employee with a dog allergy. So I had been very transparent with them from the beginning and said, listen, that point is almost moot. My dog is about to retire. And at that point, my dog did retire. So that should have alleviated all of the concerns there. Around this time, I also meet with my principal, the big admin. I had met with the 2 assistant principals, and now I met with the principal. And the principal said the quiet part out loud. I asked him primarily about why I had 2 preps and why I was never alone in the classroom. And he said that district had sent him a list of what was expected for having me on their campus, for what some of the expectations were. And I said, oh, okay, I had to sign a list like that. Do you have the list? Could you show it to me? He said, no, I can't remember where it is. That was a long time ago. I said, do you have an email of it? Because if you have an email of it, you could just forward it to me. He could not produce that email. And so I emailed him the next day, and I just said, it was really great talking with you yesterday. Do you have the list of accommodations that the district sent you? I would really love to see how it matches with the list of accommodations that I signed. He could not produce the list at any point. He just kind of ignored my email. So that point is when I decided to join the union. Because I was not going to be able to fight the case on my own. I wanted some additional advocacy assistance, so I joined the union and I filed a request for assistance with advocacy. And that's the part where I will leave you.